Hi everyone, Peter here from Flow High Performance, and in this video we will cover how supersets can be practically implemented into a training program to maximize muscle growth. First, let's quickly cover what exactly supersets are. Supersets are basically when we alternate between two different exercises. Another term named trisets are a similar strategy, although this involves alternating between 3 different exercises. However, for this video, we will consider supersets as alternating between 2 or more exercises, since the principles and mechanisms are essentially the same, regardless of how many exercises we alternate between. Another detail worth mentioning about supersets is whether we implement agonist or antagonist sets. Agonist supersets are when we alternate between exercises training the same muscle. Antagonist supersets, on the other hand, are those which alternate between exercises training opposing muscles or any other muscles which aren't trained in the same exercise. For example, an agonist superset may include something like a barbell curl alternating with a cable curl. An antagonist superset may include a barbell curl alternating with a cable tricep pushdown. When we implement either of these strategies, the effects will be slightly different and the hypertrophic stimulus may be different as a result. Agonist supersets, where the same muscle group is trained with alternating exercises, is similar to any other metabolite-style training method. Similar to any other training method implementing lighter loads and shorter rest periods, these metabolite training methods promote high metabolic stress. There are other videos on this channel about these metabolite-style training methods, but this won't be covered in this video. Rather, this video will focus more on antagonist supersets, meaning those which alternate between exercises which train different muscle groups. So what effect do supersets have on hypertrophy outcomes compared with traditional training? Surprisingly, there is limited evidence comparing supersets with traditional training on direct hypertrophy outcomes. The only published evidence I could find was this study comparing supersets versus traditional training on arm hypertrophy. Trainees performed bicep curls and tricep extensions in either a traditional order or using supersets with no rest between exercises. After an 8-week training protocol, it was found that hypertrophy of the biceps and triceps was similar between groups, although there seemed to be a slight benefit in favor of the traditional training group. However, this may not have been a fair comparison because the superset protocol was performed without any interset rest, while the traditional protocol was performed with 1-minute rest between sets. We also have this unpublished dissertation which compared traditional versus superset training of leg extensions and leg curls. It was found that both superset and traditional training both resulted in significant increases in cross-sectional area of the trained muscles. So this research together suggests that superset training seems to be fairly similar for muscle growth compared with traditional training. However, the specific training protocol and layout of the superset strategy may influence hypertrophy outcomes. So, are there actually any potential benefits to implementing supersets into a training program? Well, although it may not directly be any more beneficial for muscle growth, it may have some indirect benefits over traditional training in specific contexts. The first potential indirect benefit is on lifting performance. This study compared the effects of supersetting bench presses and bench pulls versus performing the same training session in a traditional style. In the traditional protocol, trainees performed 3 sets of bench pulls followed by 3 sets of bench press with 2 minutes rest between each exercise. In the superset protocol, trainees performed 3 sets of each exercise in an alternating order with 2 minutes rest between exercises. So as we can see here, the superset protocol allowed longer rest periods between sets of the same movement compared with the traditional protocol. As a result, lifters actually saw superior lifting performance using the superset protocol as measured by volume load. So this study suggests that implementing a superset protocol, training opposing muscle groups, can improve lifting performance of the entire session. This is because if we strategically pair exercises, then we can allow muscle groups to rest longer between sets, allowing superior lifting performance of each set. This may provide a superior training stimulus and promote greater long-term muscle growth. However, arguably the most beneficial effect of using supersets is its time efficiency benefits. This study compared the time efficiency of performing traditional training versus supersets versus trisets. trainees performed 6 exercises in a training session using either a standard set protocol, alternating between 2 exercises, or alternating between 3 exercises. It was found that although the same total number of sets were completed, the superset and triset groups completed the training session in far less time than the traditional training protocol. This suggests that pairing exercises can help us get more total training completed in the same amount of time, or the same amount of training completed in a shorter time frame. For time-restricted lifters, this can allow more volume to be completed in each session, which is likely to provide a superior hypertrophy stimulus. So now we understand that while supersets are not inherently superior for muscle growth, they do have some practical benefits. However, a particular consideration we should make when implementing supersets into a training program are which exercises we pair with each other. The specific movements we choose to superset will likely influence the quality of the session. As we have already mentioned, it is important to pair exercises which train different muscles. If we pair multiple exercises training the same muscle group, that muscle isn't really getting much rest, and it is essentially like performing an extended set. This can be used as a metabolite style training method, but that is a different topic for another video. So really, we want to ensure the superset trains different muscles so that each muscle is allowed to rest while the other muscle is being trained. Another consideration for exercise selection is the cardiovascular demands of each movement. Exercises which promote high cardiovascular fatigue may be less suitable to use with supersets. This is because if the cardiovascular system is fatigued after a set of lifting, it may limit performance of the following exercise before the target muscle. Generally, compound lifts which involve many muscles and joints are going to have higher cardiovascular demands and are therefore less suitable to implement with supersets. On the other hand, exercises which have low cardiovascular demands may be more suitable to use with supersets. This is because the cardiovascular system won't be significantly fatigued and won't limit performance of subsequent exercises. Generally, isolation lifts where only one primary muscle group is being trained will have lower cardiovascular demands and are therefore more suitable to implement with supersets. Similar to the cardiovascular fatigue issue, we should also be cautious of accessory muscle fatigue. Exercises that involve many accessory and stabilizer muscles during the movement are less suitable to use with supersets. This is because if the accessory or stabilizer muscles are fatigued from an exercise, they may limit performance of the following exercise before the target muscle. Once again, compound lifts with high stability demands are going to be less suitable to be implemented with superset style training. On the other hand, exercises which involve fewer accessory and stabilizer muscles may be more suitable to use with supersets. This is because they won't be fatigued for the following exercise and therefore won't limit performance before the target muscle. Once again, isolation lifts with low stability demands are going to be more suitable to be implemented with superset style training. So to summarize this video, let's establish some practical recommendations. Supersets probably aren't any more effective than traditional resistance training for hypertrophy when rest periods are equated. However, supersets can provide some practical benefits to help make training sessions more efficient. Strategically supersetting specific exercises can allow trainees to train with higher quality by allowing muscle groups to rest while the antagonist muscles are working. Furthermore, supersets can make training sessions more time efficient by completing the same amount of work in a shorter time frame. However, we should be cautious with what exercises we decide to superset, as this may influence the effectiveness of our sessions. Supersets are more suitable to implement with antagonistic muscle groups, those with lower cardiovascular demands, and those which involve fewer accessory and stabilizer muscles. This will ensure the target muscle is the limiting factor of each set and is maximally stressed. Trainees can use these general recommendations to implement supersets into their training program however they choose. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you got something out of this video. Check out flowhighperformance.com for online coaching, training templates, ebooks, and more.